Remember the song of whom you are. I tell you, there's a profound wisdom in those words. Let me hit you with a quick flashback to a moment that's probably engraved in your memory, especially if you grew up with African parents. But before we get into all that seriousness, remember it's a Monday morning and you know what that means. Time to kickstart the week with some serious vibes and a sprinkle of wisdom, courtesy of your favorite podcast, Speak with Itunolu and Itemi. Now back to the heart of the matter. The eve of my wedding remains aged vividly in my memory. The air is filled with excitement, the noise of laughter and gisting from friends and family. There's lots of cooking on the background alongside other activities. You already can tell what the eve of a typical wedding looks like, yeah? But in the midst of all that, my mom calls me into a quiet space with my father seated beside her. I was anxious and quite apprehensive, and I couldn't help but wonder what could possibly be the issue now. They asked me to sit, and as they spoke, their words carried a weight of wisdom and solemnity. You're embarking on a new journey, joining your husband's household, and we couldn't be happier for you, they began. But in the midst of the excitement, never forget the essence of who you are. We trust you to carry our values with dignity and to uphold our honor in your new home. Their words resonated deeply within me, and it's a constant reminder engraved upon my heart. Dear listener, let's take time to unpack this profound truth a little further. I want you to pause for a moment and soak in this reality. Remember the son of whom you are. It's a constant reminder to stay grounded and to never forget your roots, your source. Because let's face it, a river that forgets its source will eventually dry up. Indeed, staying grounded in your divine identity is paramount. Just as a river must remember its source to thrive, we too must recognize our spiritual roots to flourish. Let's make a pact to embrace our divine identity and commit to honoring our divine heritage. Let's walk in the knowledge that we are fearfully and wonderfully made children of the Most High. I mean, think about it. When you are aware that you belong to the Most High, your confidence skyrockets. You carry yourself like the royalty that you are. When you know whose you are, there's nothing you can't conquer, even the devil. When you grasp the reality of being God's own, it's like discovering the missing piece of a puzzle. Suddenly, everything falls into place. You see, knowing whose you are goes beyond mere acknowledgement. It's a deep understanding of your divine identity. It's about recognizing that you are not just a random collection of atoms and molecules, but a masterpiece crafted by the hands of the Most High. You are intricately designed with purpose woven into every fiber of your being. When you grasp this truth, when you truly internalize it, it's like finding a treasure map leading straight to your true self. Suddenly, the noise of the world fades away, and you are left with the pure essence of who you are, a beloved child of God, filled with infinite potential and boundless love. When you know whose you are, when you find your true self in the embrace of the divine, there's nothing in this world that can shake you. You're grounded, you're empowered, and you're unstoppable. Now let's dive into the timeless tale of the prodigal son to shed light on the power of knowing whose you are. This young man was filled with wanderlust and a hunger for adventure. He sets off to explore the world beyond his father's home. He squanders his inheritance on wild living, only to find himself destitute and broke. But in his darkest hour, he remembered whose he was, the beloved son of a loving father. When the prodigal son came to his senses, it wasn't just a realization of his own folly, but a return to his true identity as a beloved child. Despite his mistakes, he knew he belonged to his father, and that knowledge propelled him back home. Bringing it back to you, dear listener, how often do you find yourself chasing after fleeting desires, searching for fulfillment in all the wrong places? How often do you find yourself drifting away from your divine identity, succumbing to the pressures and distractions of this world? It's easy to get caught up in the chaos, to forge our own path without consulting the one who knows us best. But again, taking a page from the prodigal son's book, reveling in his newfound freedom, he was slowly losing sight of his identity as his journey takes a downward spiral. This is a cautionary tale that echoes the consequences of forgetting whose you are. The truth is, when you lose track of whose you are navigating through life blindfolded. And you already know what that means. Stumbling in the darkness of uncertainty. It's like trying to find your way in a maze without a map. You will inevitably hit dead ends and wrong turns. So dear listener, if you ever find yourself going off course, just remember whose you are and get back on track. When the noise of the world threatens to drown out the still small voice within, it's time to retrace your steps. It's time to come back to your true identity as a beloved child of God. Commit to retracing your steps whenever you lose sight of whose you are. Lean into your divine identity, allowing it to guide you through the twists and turns of life's journey. Because when you walk hand in hand with the one who created you, there's nothing you can't overcome. So here's to retracing your steps, finding your way back home, and embracing your true identity as beloved children of the Most High. And it's a wrap for today's episode. If this message resonated with you, hit that subscribe button, share with your squad, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments section. Remember, you are not just anybody. You're a child of the Most High, destined for greatness. This is Itunolu Anitemi signing off and reminding you to embrace your divine identity. Always remember whose you are. Until next time, stay grounded, stay empowered, and keep shining bright.